This question gets a lot easier when you realize what g of x and x really are. We're hearing that the function, which is the g of x, is the depth. So this right here is our depth. Meanwhile, the x is the number of minutes after collecting the sample. So that's the number of minutes. Now, what are we being asked? We're being asked, how many minutes does it take for this thing to reach the surface? Well, reaching the surface, that's the idea that the depth is 0. And the depth is this part of the graph. So we'll simply start by setting everything equal to 0. Now we can use our zero product rule because we have multiple items being multiplied together with an answer of 0. And the zero product rule is that in that situation, you want to set each piece equal to 0. Of course, we're not going to set the negative 1 over 55 equal to 0 because that doesn't make sense. But here, we can take away 19 from both sides, and here, we can add 35 to both sides. So if we think about this graph, it's an upside-down parabola because of this negative sign. So if you have a negative sign in the front of a parabola, it looks like this. If you don't have a negative sign in the front, if you have a positive, it looks like that. So this is an upside-down parabola, and we just found out that it hits at negative 19 and positive 35. Those are the two places where it hits the y-axis. So the graph looks something like this. Now, the part of the graph that we're concerned with is this part right here, because x is the number of minutes, and you're not really going to have a negative number of minutes unless you're a time traveler. So this is starting right around here, and we're measuring the depth with the y-axis. So the depth becomes 0 right here. Now, of course, this is all upside down because depth being equal to 0 means you've actually made it up to the surface. So by measuring depth, our graph is inherently kind of upside down to begin with. In any case, how many minutes will it take for this thing to reach a depth of 0? And as you can see, the answer is 35.